The entertainment world has been buzzing lately, and if you thought you had seen it all, think again. The scandal involving Diddy Combs has taken a shocking turn, leaving even the most seasoned Hollywood insiders speechless. Picture this, a courtroom filled with lawyers, reporters, and spectators, all holding their breath as an explosive video plays. This footage might just unravel everything we thought we knew about one of the most influential figures in music, with none other than global superstar Justin Bieber at the center of it all.
Yeah, so as soon as you turn 16, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna let you rock this every time you come to LA. Yeah, this gonna be yours. So every time you come to LA, it's a little dusty, but you know, come get the front shot of this.
Man.
Minute.
Woo. Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, you know, wear your seat.
I mean, I'm 15, you can ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Now that, not yet.
No.
Alright, 16.
You're not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Justin.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you know, when you get 16. You're good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion?
Yeah.
Alright. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go. Where are we going?
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about, kid.
The layers of this drama are dizzying, and we're here to break it all down. Let's rewind to set the scene. Diddy Combs, once a celebrated titan in the music industry, now faces a barrage of disturbing allegations, including connections to a network of illicit activities that have sent shockwaves through Hollywood. It's been a non-stop cascade of revelations, each darker than the last, offering a glimpse into what might have been hidden behind the glitz and glamour of his empire. However, it wasn't until recently, during a court session, that things took a truly jaw-dropping turn, and Justin Bieber's name entered the conversation in a way no one saw coming.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, you know, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
Here's what went down. The courtroom was packed with legal teams, reporters, and onlookers eagerly awaiting a pivotal moment in the trial. Then, it happened. Diddy's legal team was blindsided when a video was introduced as evidence, an explosive clip that had been floating around on the internet for years but had never been taken seriously, until now. The footage, reportedly filmed during Justin Bieber's early career, brought the courtroom to a standstill. It was one of those moments where you could hear a pin drop. The video, which allegedly shows Bieber spending 48 hours with Diddy as part of a mentorship, seemed harmless at first. It appeared as though a rising star was simply hanging out with a music mogul. But as the footage unfolded, it became clear this wasn't just a nostalgic trip down memory lane.
I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
We're going crazy.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you tried to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Right. Okay.
My number?
The world around Diddy is currently crumbling into pieces. And as his secret life comes into focus while he's locked behind bars, everything he's ever done is being looked at in a different light.
You're gonna hear about my party. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
And so are his interactions with other people in the limelight. Most notably, one younger star who was welcomed into his inner circle and may have seen or even been subjected to some terrible things.
Let's talk about Justin Bieber. I mean, I can't go on Twitter or TikTok or any of these social media platforms, it seems like, without seeing a video of Justin Bieber or Usher with Sean Combs.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is the dark relationship between Justin Bieber and Diddy. Fresh from his homes being raided by the feds, Diddy was apprehended at a hotel in New York City on charges including sex trafficking, racketeering conspiracy, and interstate transportation for prostitution. Now he's being held at the Metropolitan Detention Center after his attempt to secure bail with a $50 million package was rejected due to his concerns that he posed a risk to the people he had previously subjected to his quote-unquote freak-offs. Reportedly, the bad boy CEO would pump his victims full of drugs and use both violence and intimidation to get his way during day-long orgies containing people of both sexes. As a man who spent most of his life in the limelight, everything he's ever said in an interview is now being looked at sideways, because at times, it seems like he's been hiding in plain sight.
This is what you need to do. Women, beautiful women. Beautiful men for the ladies.
From there, he got a lot more specific, seemingly detailing the recipe for the perfect freak-off.
We need alcohols. You need some water. No, I don't know if guys have noticed this. Like, a lot of ladies drink water at parties. They just, so you have, if you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat.
You mean that physically the place has to be hot?
You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning. No. Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects, like, everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
That just sounds disgusting. What are you doing?
In the clip, Diddy is seen speaking to the camera, saying things like, "He's with me for 48 hours, and we're doing things we can't really talk about." Imagine hearing that in a courtroom where Diddy is already under intense scrutiny. Chilling, right? The video continues to show Diddy gifting Bieber a luxury car, a gesture that once seemed like a generous gift but now feels oddly transactional. There's also a cryptic comment from Diddy telling Justin not to talk about what goes on with Big Brother Puff. That line, once dismissed as playful banter, now carries significant weight in light of the current context. It's no surprise that the courtroom buzzed with whispers as the video played. What's even more unsettling is the emotional toll this has clearly had on Justin Bieber. While he hasn't publicly addressed the situation, insiders close to him suggest it's been a deeply challenging time. Imagine having to relive moments you may have buried or misunderstood, only to have them dissected in a courtroom for the whole world to see.
It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
A 2022 interview from Justin Bieber has resurfaced in the wake of Diddy's legal drama. In the sit-down with Zane Lowe 4 years ago, Justin isn't talking about the disgraced media mogul directly, but his past trauma in the music industry, his album changes, and being a newlywed to wife Haley.
I think that I was just, living in this shame, living in all this sort of stuff of my past, and I wasn't able to move on.
Talk of the video comes after footage of Diddy and Justin also resurfaced on social media recently.
Not anyone could just be in the position that I'm in.
Video shows Diddy alongside teenage Justin, leaving people to speculate if, at the time, he subjected the pop star to his alleged freak-offs.
Combs allegedly planned and controlled the sex performances, which he called freak-offs, and he often electronically recorded them. The freak-offs sometimes lasted days at a time.
You're gonna hear about my party. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we wanna have a good time.
During the Zane Lowe interview, Justin breaks down in tears when talking about wanting to protect Billie Eilish, who at the time quickly rose to superstar status.
Well, I just wanted to be a good example, and it was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second. I just wanted to protect her, I don't want her to go through anything I went through. I don't wish that upon anybody.
When it comes to what Justin thinks of Diddy's allegations, a source tells ET Justin's not focused on what is going on with Diddy or the allegations against him. Instead, our insider says Justin and Hailey are focused on baby Jack, whom they welcomed in August. They've been absorbed in their own happiness and family, appreciating this time together. In fact, building a family with Hailey was top of mind during Justin and Zayn's chat, an idea that lifted the singer's spirits.
I'm really excited to have babies with you, enjoy, just celebrate, all the amazing things that we've been given. Because we are blessed, babe. We are, man. There's so much pain in the world, and we don't understand why, and there's so much things that are so unexplainable, but what is the reality? We are blessed,
It's no secret that Justin has struggled with public outbursts and mental health issues, but this is a whole new level. Fans have rallied around him, flooding social media with messages of support. One fan wrote, "Hollywood did you so wrong, keep your head up high," echoing the feelings of many who believe Justin was thrust into an industry that didn't protect him as it should have. The resurfacing of this video has reignited conversations about the pressures and vulnerabilities of young talents in the entertainment industry. People are now wondering how many other stars might have similar stories buried in their pasts. There's also been silence from Bieber's camp, which has only fueled speculation. Why hasn't Justin commented on the allegations against Diddy or addressed the resurfaced video? Some think he's staying out of the legal battle, focusing on his family and personal life. Others argue that his silence speaks volumes, a quiet acknowledgement of the weight these revelations carry. Either way, his lack of public comment has left fans and critics in suspense, waiting to see if and when he will speak out.
Justin Bieber is probably the last person on earth you feel bad for. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed tween made a few YouTube videos singing in 2007, got swooped up by the major record labels, and they forced his generic pop songs onto us. Then every young girl in the world became obsessed with him, making him millions of dollars and keeping his songs in rotation on the radio. He was an easy person to hate, or just completely disregard. However, in the early 2010s, he started to change. He was lashing out in public, assaulting people, and starting to confirm people's suspicions of him being a snobby rich brat. And although this video is not going to be me trying to convince you that Justin Bieber is an unproblematic saint, there is another perspective to consider that might make his antics a little understandable. For example, the many times he was blatantly assaulted or harassed in public.
Can I say this? Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
It isn't very difficult to see how uncomfortable Justin is. James Corden is leaning in as close as he possibly can with his hand resting on Justin's back.
Thank you so much. Look at him. Look at what a beautiful face. All right.
Rubbing Justin's face was just disrespectful, but he couldn't resist touching the boy. Bieber awkwardly tries to go along with the joke, but James makes it even worse.
Voted to just do it. Don't mess around. Don't tease me, Bieber.
People couldn't keep their hands off Justin, including Katy Perry, who had to get herself a handful as she mouths to the camera, "Sorry, Selena." At the end of this interaction, Justin says, "We can do that forever if you want," which made some people think that he was okay with this behavior. Even David Letterman put his hands on Justin. During the 2012 interview, David insisted on denouncing Justin's tattoos.
Is that a new tattoo?
This is a new tattoo.
Oh God, how many do you have?
I have a couple, just a couple.
Meanwhile, the media frenzy surrounding the case has been unrelenting. Every major outlet has covered the story, with headlines analyzing each detail of the courtroom drama. The video has become the focal point, with analysts debating its significance and what it might mean for the case against Diddy. Some have even suggested that this could be a turning point, not just for the trial, but for the entire entertainment industry. After all, if someone as high profile as Justin Bieber could be caught up in something like this, who's to say it hasn't happened to others? What's even more complex is the ripple effect this scandal is having on Diddy's relationships with other celebrities. Justin Bieber wasn't the only young star in Diddy's circle. Usher, another music icon, has also spoken about his time with Diddy, recalling experiences that, in light of recent events, are raising even more questions. It's as if every piece of the puzzle is falling into place, but instead of clarifying things, It only deepens the mystery.
All right, Usher, Justin Bieber, Diddy. This is how they all connect. When Usher was super young, he got signed to a guy named L.A. Reid, this famous music executive. Usher then loses his voice. L.A. Reid wants to help him, get back on track, so he sends him over to this guy named Puff Daddy. And as you can imagine, Usher had a problem. He just didn't know it yet. See, Puff Daddy was this up-and-coming music executive who could really turn someone into a star. He put them through this thing called Flavor Camp. And during Usher's term in this Flavor Camp, he lived with Puff. And in Usher's words, he would see questionable things. He said at any given time, you can open the door and see a bunch of random people playing Netflix. He said he would be up all night partying when all he really wanted to do was go to the studio. And this is when people speculate that Diddy did something to Usher. Now, I need you to listen to me. I'm gonna give you the evidence as to why people believe this, but until you hear words from Usher, Diddy, Justin Bieber, nobody knows anything. All right, so Diddy and Usher are in an interview with Kevin Hart. Diddy said, "Hey, yo, pause. When Usher used to live with me, we used to wrestle for Frosted Flakes." Kevin Hart said, "What?" Diddy said, and he grabs Kevin Hart and pulls him off camera because Kevin Hart doesn't have a filter. After Diddy's Flavor Camp, Usher comes out with an album called Usher. It has really explicit details about watching Netflix. Everybody's like, nah, this is uncomfortable. And people actually did not like the album because his young voice talking about those details really threw people off. And of course, the album was executively produced by Puff Daddy. His mom was like, yo, what the so she grabs Usher. You got former bodyguards coming out saying, yeah, Diddy was very inappropriate with Usher. There's a rumor that Usher got sent to the hospital because of an encounter with Diddy. In fact, rumors have been circulating for like 20 years about this situation. Which brings us to Usher and Justin Bieber. See, Justin Bieber was coming up in the same way Usher was, like when he was super young. L.A. Reid again found Justin Bieber. Usher and Justin Timberlake both wanted to sign Bieber, but Bieber chooses Usher and Usher basically becomes a mentor. Now, Usher then sends a young Bieber to Diddy for 48 hours. And in this interview, Diddy's saying stuff like, man, Justin is doing things that any 15-year-old would dream of doing. And the thing that's always kind of annoyed me about Diddy personally is he's always towing this imaginary line in interviews. Because of his ego, he has been snitching on himself in interviews. If you listen, he'll say something like, Justin be having a really good time with me. If no one acknowledges it, he'll be like, I can't say too much. You know what I'm saying? But like a really good time. I can't say too much though. You feel me? And he'll do this like throughout the whole interview. But here's the thing about Justin Bieber. He's been insanely harassed by the entertainment industry over the years. In fact, Justin Bieber comes out with a song about it where he's not just talking about one person. He's talking about the whole industry. In fact, Justin Bieber starts crying in the interview when Billie Eilish's name is brought up. He says that he wants to protect her and young people in the industry so they won't go through what he went through. And here's where it gets very wicked. Something you gotta understand is the music industry is known for being very wicked. We just talked about Billie Eilish, right? Well, somebody got to her too. She eventually tells her brother and her brother gets the person fired. We talking about Billie Eilish. Matter of fact, Taylor Swift even came out and said something happened to her too. And I need you to think about that for a second. If the industry has the audacity to do something like this to a Taylor Swift who had powerful parents, a bona fide star at the time, this is just culture at that point. What do you think they're doing to people who aren't famous? So back to these three. Usher deletes his social media for a day because people are going in on him about him sending Justin Bieber to Diddy. People are saying, for all the things that you went through, Usher, why would you send Justin over? And here's what I want to say. Celebrities are human beings and human beings are complicated. So maybe it's not as simple as Usher bad because he sent Justin to Diddy. My whole life I've witnessed the insane things that Diddy has gotten away with in an industry, in a world that allows billionaire music executives to do whatever they want. If you don't know what this is about, look in the comments. So it's probably a little difficult to go against someone like that, especially if you have allegedly been groomed by them. Or Usher could be just as wicked as Diddy. Point is, I have no idea, and I know you don't either.
The courtroom drama has sparked conversations about accountability in the music industry. Who knew what, when, and why it took so long for these allegations to come to light? For now, those questions remain unanswered, but one thing is certain, the impact of this scandal is far-reaching and won't be fading anytime soon. As the trial continues, all eyes are on Justin Bieber, wondering how he'll navigate this storm and what it will mean for his future.
Justin Bieber, is continuing the purge. He has now moved to unfollow Usher. okay? His original mentor. So this is a very big story. And the reason why we should discuss this and we should not diminish what is happening, it's not celebrity drama. This is actually the fall of Babylon that we are witnessing, Hollywood Babylon, that is. Of course, many people, I believe, are accurately assuming that this has something to do, one element has to do with the Diddy lawsuit. A lot of revelations were made in the Diddy lawsuit. So I'm going to start this by saying allegedly, okay, obviously, he has not yet been convicted of everything, but I knew that he was going to get arrested because after reading through this lawsuit, there were just so many pictures, way too many descriptions. He had hours of video footage proving his claims. I'm referring to the person who initially filed this, Rodney Lil Rod, a producer who went into great detail, laborious effort to basically describe almost a homosexual ring in which people were being drugged at various Diddy parties. But he describes how essentially him, being a young producer, they tried to initiate him into homosexuality. And I'm going to read this directly from a lawsuit. It says, quote, Mr. Combs, that's Diddy, used access to Stevie J and his knowledge that the producer, Mr. Jones, admired Stevie J to groom and enticed Mr. Jones to engage in homosexuality. But then there's a footnote in the filing, right? Because the names are redacted. And in the footnote, it reads that regarding the R&B singer that Diddy allegedly slept with, he performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. So this let people know that very clearly the name that was redacted had to have been Usher, because it was Usher who recently performed at the Super Bowl, and it was Usher at the time of this filing who had just had a very successful Vegas residency. And we also knew that Usher and Diddy themselves had a relationship, a long relationship. Now, why is this important? It's important because we know that Usher, when he was very young, was handed over to Diddy.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you
New
over
York
to
City.
something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
See? So when Usher signed and became a quote-unquote mentor to Justin Bieber, why didn't he mentor him against going to Diddy's house? Why is it beginning to feel like everything that Kanye West told us about Hollywood might be true?
Gotcha.
Justin Bieber, he's going to be absolutely fine. He is going to be so fine. I'm telling you guys, pray for him. He's obviously very strong right now. And to that, I say, Justin Bieber, keep going. The world is behind you. We cannot wait until you find your voice again. Christ is king.
As we move from the courtroom to the wider implications of the case, the story only becomes more tangled. Justin Bieber's connection to Diddy is just one thread in a much larger web of relationships and revelations. Are there others with similar experiences? And if so, what does that say about the culture of the entertainment industry as a whole? One thing is certain, this story is far from over. Stay tuned.